Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Carrie. I'm Carrie.
I'm Patty. We are with StudioR12. Well, we are StudioR12.com. So we are here to do DIY and crafting, and we have a really cool lesson for you today.
We do. We
and
got
some nice shares.
Yeah, we got a customer request on how to use a specific product, and we think that you're going to be really excied to.
Yeah, I think you're going to want a lesson.
Yes.
Do the things.
I think you're going to want to. I think you're going to want to grab it and add it to your projects. Yes, she about spilled the beans. So we are StudioR12 Stencils. You can find us on StudioR12.com where we have thousands of stencil designs and products and tools and really cool shaped surfaces, some 3D surfaces, some cutout surfaces. We have embellishments. We have lots and lots and lots of things. And you can sign up for a newsletter on StudioR12.com. You'll get a spinny wheel. You'll put in your email address. You'll very likely receive a code for your first order so you can get a discount. And then you will be notified when our new videos are posted, when we have new products, when we have sales, we have extra lessons and deep dives into things that we do there. So it is really the place to find all of the info.
Yeah, that's going to be your like your newspaper.
Yes.
For the, it's the newsletter, it's the blog, it's the videos, it's the sales letter. It's like all the things happen there.
Yes. And then you can follow us on Facebook and on Instagram and on Pinterest. Pinterest is the place for crafters. Like we go to Pinterest to look up design ideas and color schemes and what to mix and match together. So if you're a crafter, you're on Pinterest, so follow us. And then we're on, I don't know what I said, but we're everywhere online and especially on YouTube, which is probably where you're watching us. You can subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified when we upload new videos. We upload videos on Tuesday evenings and on Saturday mornings. Tuesday, our videos are together, and then Saturdays, you'll get an artist from StudioR12 either teaching you about a technique or showing you how to paint a project. This past weekend, Patty showed how to paint a pillow wrap.
This blew my hippie noodle when I saw these because like normally you have to buy a different cover if your pillow cover comes off or whatever, it's a normal size or whatever, but you can just put a little wrap on it and then turn it into a totally Christmas moment, fall moment.
Yeah, well, we had someone tell us that they had just went on a pillow buying spree because they got a new house and they wanted to have the pillows for all the things. So then you have a tote with all your big pillows, and then you have two totes because you get more pillows. Well, now you can have a pillow and then change that out.
This just Velcros off of it, and now you can Velcro it back on. So, and then we also, this is super interesting. This is like a little Substack lesson here. I did not sew anything on this. I cut this out of drapery lining fabric. So it comes on a bolt like this. This is the blackout weight. The brand name of this is Rocklon, Roclon. And this has been in Joann's forever and ever and ever. Somebody has mentioned that Joann says they're not carrying it, but I don't know if that was like a local store. Joann's been having their whole like restructuring everything that they've been doing. But I know that they carry a product that is a blackout weight drapery lining fabric. It feels exactly like the stuff from a hotel room. So that is its use, is to black out the room so that if people, check in at 3:00, they can shut the blinds, get some sleep, and go do what they're going to do that evening or whatever, So
it looks like there are Rocklon options on Amazon.
Okay, so super cool. So we in the past have cut these into strips to sell. We prefer not to, so we make it super expensive on our website because I don't want to cut Rocklon for you. I want you to go buy Rocklon from somebody else.
Well, and we also don't have, at one time we had a Joann's in our town, but we don't have one anywhere nearby.
Travel to go get it. Yeah. So this is a difficult thing for us. So this is not the business I want to be in, is cutting Rocklon. But it's amazing I've made a million banners. I've done table runners. We've got videos on a table runner for sure. That is, I think, a Christmas one. But yeah, so we have done so many things with this. So it is versatile. It doesn't fray on its edge, so you don't have to hem it. It takes paint really well. It does take a little bit of time to dry. You do kind of have to force dry it with the blow dryer and stuff. But you can make these pillow wraps go this direction or this direction. And then, but wait, there's more. Then we found a source for fabric ones that are pre-hemmed and pre-velcroed. So you can just buy them as is. You don't have to do anything with them. And they are the same size as this. They look exactly the same on that. And then you can paint these a color if you want to, or you can just leave them au natural and then just make a corresponding color for your season. Yeah. It's super, super fun. I love this. And this was last weekend's video. I'm going to hand that back to you.
You.
I'm going to take a nap on that guy. It's a nice fluffy little pillow.
While you're talking today, I'm going to get a look at that. All right, so I think we're ready to talk about today. So we had asked on our Facebook page recently, what are some things that you would like to learn about? What techniques do you want to know? What products? Is there a specific product or a stencil that you'd like to see in use? And our friend Kelly said that she would like a refresher on metallic luster. She says she has trouble with it showing up on her products, and she knows we've shown it before, but she'd just like a little bit of a deeper dive and showing off how to use it.
Let's dive away. All right, so I've got a couple of things here. I've got 3 different versions, and I'll start with fall because fall's sitting right up here.
Well, let's talk about what's luster. What is the product?
Luster is a wax. I'm going to read the label so I get the words right. It is a wax metallic finish. If you're going to use your dome brushes with luster or any product really, probably wash up, clean up is going to be with a little bit of soap and water because of the wax.
Now, if you're using just paint with your dome brushes, you are not going to use soap.
Yeah.
But with a wax product, you will use soap.
Yeah, and then you can use this dry. You can use it with a paper towel. You can use it with your finger. You can use it with a dauber. Anything that you're going to use, though, you're probably going to need soap and water to clean it up. So that is good to know. And then you can use it to layer. You can use it on your acrylics. You can use that. I don't know about oil. I don't use oil paint. So you can use it on surfaces, paper, wood. Like ceramics would be fantastic. Just anything that you've already put paint on, especially. But like ceramics, I've got Persephone here. Oh, good Lord, she's heavy. So she's just a ceramic, or I guess concrete probably, just form. And she might have paint on her. I don't know if that's raw or not. But you could paint right on top of her with some luster and it would be adorable because it'll pick up all this like extra edging. I'm going to show you that in just a little bit.
So if you are going to use a dome brush or a dauber on this and then you are going to use soap on it, would you recommend labeling those brushes and keeping them to the side to just use for this? Because you're going to have, you might have soap in them.
Yeah,
so
I would just rinse the snot out of them.
Okay.
Is what I would do. Rinse, and squish, rub, just to get all of that soap out. I think that's the best idea.
Yeah, if you do not get the soap out, you might run into some soapy bubbles on your next stencil project, and you do not want that.
No soapy bubbles. And, if you're doing a dauber with this and you want to just get like a band or something, so you use this, you're going to soap and water, and then you're going to just squish in running water over and over and over until you get absolutely no ounce of bubbling and stuff. So you just have to take the care to clean it up. So that is very important. All right. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Those are good questions. Okay, so last week during Tuesday, we showed how to do a beautiful leaf, and we shaded it and highlighted it through the stencil. So it's last week's lesson. If you are interested in painting really phenomenal leaves, or any kind of shading in your stencil, you want to check that video out. And then do make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up, all that kind of stuff so that you bookmark us and you know where to find us again. Okay, I don't know if you're like me with YouTube, but I find myself interested in everything, you know, so I'll go and watch a million videos. If I don't subscribe, I forget where I was. All right, so I'm going to line that stencil up. And because this stencil is bigger than my surface, I'm just taping through the middle of the elements that are on that stencil. And then with our stencils, every stencil like this, I talked about this last week, can be cut down to be a single stencil. So this one stencil is like 30 stencils. So it's a really cool thing to get. Let's talk about layering your metallic luster. This is a DecoArt product. Shout out to DecoArt. They have the coolest stuff. Their media acrylics, one of my favorite products I've ever used. Their paint line is fabulous. You know, DecoArt is an amazing, and they're a great company as well. I have worked with them for a long time. So I'm going to take, this is the color Orange Flicker. So we're going to take a little orange flicker and take my dome brush, and we're just going to scoop out a little bit on the tip. Now, notice that this is super solid right there. If I plunk that straight down on top of my leaf, I'm going to get a super solid patch. And I don't want to use this to patch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offload. And now it looks super evenly distributed. I might even go a couple more times because I don't want this to become a metallic leaf. I want to just hint at it. Okay, now we're going to go onto our leaf into our darker areas. And let's show a before. I'll reline that up. So that's our before. Okay, and then we'll go to our after. And you could see the before also on last week's video. Okay, so we're going to go on my darker areas, and I'm just going to scumble. And I'm going to just give it a kiss of this color. I want it even. I don't want a big old trashy mess. I can probably pick up some off of my paper towel. And then let's take a look at it and see. So in this case, I would want just a little bit of shimmer. I think we could go a little bit further. I'm kind of liking that area right there. You see it?
Yes.
I really like that just subtleness, but I think I could go a little bit more. So, what is that? Okay. So we can go here. I'm liking this side over here. This side's maybe a little bit too heavy, so that was the first thing that I set my brush down on. And so then we can go. And then let's talk about how you choose your color. It comes in so many colors. So, but it's not like too many colors.
No, I think that right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There are 16 different options on DecoArt's website. A couple of them are currently sold out, but the collection has 16 total.
Yeah, and they are just really fun to play with. They are something that you can really add just a little something to your project. Make people guess, like, what's happening there? What did you do to get that like that? And I like that it's super pasty, so that it is not, when you pour paint out, like I can just dip right into this and get going. I don't have to pour it out, so it's like more controllable because of its texture. Okay, so we are going to call maybe a little bit more.
So part of Kelly's question was, I have trouble with it showing up on my projects.
Yeah, so that's where I was going to go next is how do you choose the color? So I'm going to put this brush in water because I'm done with that one now. And I'll show you this, and then we'll talk about the color choice. So color choice or showing up on your project is going to be determined by what you want to have happen. So in this case, I wanted this color to be close to my color because I don't want it to show up very much. So like the first part of having it show up is to say, how do I prevent it from showing up too much? And so that is choose a color really close to what you were doing. Okay, so that is number one. Number two is choose a contrast. Let's go into our fall. Go into Halloween and talk about this. So in the Halloween, I chose this spooky season stencil to go on a piece of scrapbook paper. That could be a black painted board. It could be any surface that you want to paint. This has just happened to already be black, but you can see black is going to show things. I'm going to do 3 colors. I'm going to use Cosmic Blue, Majestic Purple, and Brilliant Turquoise. And you will be able to see that now I'm going to have a high contrast with this. Okay, so I'm going to have these 3 colors. And then while we're talking about these 3 colors, I want to talk about Halloween stencils. Because one of the biggest trends is the thrifted
Ghost Painting.
Thrifted Ghost Paintings. Thank you. So this is a ginormous trend on YouTube, on TikTok, on all the places, Pinterest. And what we did is we went to a thrift shop. We found a old print. You've seen these back in the 80s, I think, when Tuscan was big. You know, the frame is Tuscan, all that. I'm going to show you how to get this edges with this product in just a minute. But we have a video on doing this, and Carrie has a story about her house and the thrifted ghost paintings.
Well, so I was actually the one that brought this to Patty's attention as something that, hey, this has been gaining some popularity. I would love to have it around my house. This is totally up my alley. Like the frame and the picture itself is something that I would have in my house. And I love Halloween, but I am not confident in my art to hand paint it. So we went through and grabbed all of our stencils because I am confident in my stenciling. So now I know that I can do this, and it's something that I can put in my home now that I wouldn't have done just with doing it by hand.
Yeah, so I also, I'm going to put this in one of our new frames. Look at how great this thing holds that frame. It's amazing. So I would not be able to draw, I could draw a moon, I could probably draw a ghost, but I could not draw that witch on that broom. And so this is it's a big deal. So by having the stencils, and if you were tracing onto glass, I'm not even certain how you would trace onto glass. So it is very helpful to have stencils.
Well, and I think the stencils also give you another element. A lot of the ones that we are seeing that are hand painted are a ghost. But then with our stencils, we have one where we added like a fence post and a cat and a village and then the moon and the witch. So with the stencils, it really opens it up to add even more. And maybe you're more into witches than ghosts, or maybe you're just into a little black cat on one of your pictures, and maybe you just paint one on there and hide it. But then you start thinking about it, and then it opens those opportunities. We were at the flea market over the weekend, and my husband even said, "Oh, that would be a great picture for one of your ghost pictures," because he knows that we've been looking for those and picking them out.
Yeah, and that's something to do too, is to make sure that you're picking these up as you find them, because it's not always. We lucked out the day that we went last year. We were able to find several at one time, so we were able to go and do the thing. So I am going to get painting because that's what we're here for. Make sure that you guys are asking questions. Ask for ideas of what you would want to do, what you want to paint, what you want to use, all of that kind of stuff. Let's get that lined up. Get some tape, little tapey poo. So this is just scrapbook paper. This is fun. This is coordinations, and you can sand it, tear it, emboss it. Love it. How fun is that? I love that whole scrapbook industry just really gave us so many cool products. Okay, so I'm gonna bat in purple, and that came out really nice and heavy. So now in this case, I might want to be a little bit more base coaty. Okay, so I might want to go heavy and just kind of get like, I don't want to do like a shimmer of it. I want to do like this is my paint.
Well, I've been seeing a lot of this being used on cards. Yeah. There are some really great Instagrams and TikTok accounts that are doing cards, and it's just an overview where you watch the hand and they start from start to finish, but there's a lot of this being used on cards. So then we go and we peek, and then look how great that shows up. So Kelly, your question is absolutely a fabulous question, because that can be very tricky. Now, what I could do is I could go ombre, and I could go from top to bottom in one color or the other. I think I might do that. So we'll go up here, and then we'll switch colors in mid-stride. And then remember, you can pick up off of your discard pile over there. And this, because this is nice and creamy, it does not like leak under your stencils. That's a classic. And then don't forget our dome brushes. If you don't have dome brushes, you need them. They are absolutely the best ding dong thing you are going to find out there to stencil with. We've tried them for years and years and years and years and years, and they just keep on working, and they're fabulous because they are dome and they don't shove under. Okay, so now I'm into the blue. I'm going to go from the bottom of my spooky up, and then I'm going to change my brush to the purple and kind of do a little brush mix. Blend into my edges here. So this fade is called an ombre, and it is a really cool technique, and we've got plenty of videos on our YouTube channel on ombre. Okay, so about halfway up, we're going to start thinking about, or I guess 3/4 of the way up, thinking about switching. I'm going to give it a dusting, and then I'm going to go over the dusting with the dusting. So I'll draw the purple down. And then just lightly, 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 lightly draw it in. We want the two colors to kind of bleed into each other just a little bit. You know you're doing some painting when you've got one brush in this hand and one brush in the other hand, and you're just going for it. So I love painting, kind of painting in the wild, you know. Sometimes I remember in the past I'd be like, you know, you have brushes everywhere. Just getting into it. Okay, we'll draw it down. I think if I was to choose to do these colors again, I would choose to have the purple be at the bottom and end in the teal at the top for weight of color. But it's not wrong to do it this way. All right, while you're working on that, I have a couple questions from our friend Steve. Since it's wax, could you use Zep or degreaser to clean it up if you mess up?
Maybe. I was thinking about that on the leaf over here. It's like maybe I'll just do a little demo on the black, and we'll do an experiment because I've got some Zep right back there. All right, now we get into our third brush, and let's go into our, many pounds of color. Be gentle when you're dabbing this on your brush. Okay, so now we'll go north, and we'll fade it into blue. And then get around. They're so pretty.
They are
like
pretty.
That's so gorgeous. You guys will not be sad for having these in your arsenal of creativity.
Well, they remind me of crayons I had when I was little. There was the normal crayons, and then there was the metallic, sparkly crayons, and I always loved using those.
Yeah, I did not have those kinds of crayons. I had the 86 box, you know.
I think you were probably out of crayons when those crayons were came out.
Yeah. And I have boys, so
yeah, true.
I never even got to enter that fray. Never even got to go there. Okay, so I think we need to peek. I think we need a little bit of paint over here. And Mr. Bat needs to get some extra dewy blue a little bit more to fade. Why, yes, we do. All right, remember to give us a thumbs up and like the video and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, here we go. We're gonna peek. La! How cool is that?
That looks super cool.
That's really, really cool. So you can see that this is a paint. Like you could totally do whatever effect you want to do with this. Cards, all the things. Let me show you one more example.
Before we move on,
yep.
Let's talk about. We have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Since it is wax, does that mean you won't be able to add a finish?
That is an interesting question. The answer is unknown to me.
Yeah, maybe one of the the Krylon spray could be used.
Wax would resist that.
Yeah, and then you could wax it. So using a wax over a wax. So we've got the natural Minwax paste wax that we use all the time, and then we also use the food grade Clapham's beeswax. Excuse me. Oh, that looks so darn good.
Now, so I don't want you to mess it up, but I do. If you run your finger through it like the bat, does it spread it? Like, will it pull it out?
I don't want to mess it up.
I don't want to mess it up. Maybe try it on a different something.
Maybe let's go over here with our mess up board. So we'll go over here and we'll just take this and, oh, this is another way that this would be so cool. So pretend like you've got your pretty leaf and you've got your little bit of glitz and glam. You can go in your corners and you could antique distress and give it just another little shimmer of something going on. So don't forget that you can do that. So now it does spread because it's still wet. It's not just uncured. I do know that I've put it on my fingers before and I've had it on my fingers for quite a while. Okay. Now let's get the cleaner out. And my cleaner's not here. Oh. All right, so now we go on here, give it a little zap action, and there we go. So that'll clean that right on off of there. You might take 2 applications. I don't think I did a very good job of basing my board. So that is a good thing to know that Zep will clean up the waxy finish.
Good question.
Now we go into another tone on tone. This is one of our stencils. We have so many background word stencils. This one is love, 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 love. And so we can go on this if you were making a card for your daughter or somebody that loves pink. You know, I'm just painting in pink today. So we tape in 2 spots. This stretchy tape is amazing tape and it's low tack, so it doesn't get us in trouble with our paper, which I think is important. Now I've got rose gold, and so I'm going to go rose gold and a brush. And I'm on a cleanup paper towel. Now this is super close to the color of my paper. Let's see what this does. Oh, that's going to be pretty. Our stencils that are like this are meant to what do you call it when you can travel with them? You can lay
They're
it.
repeating.
Repeating, yes, thank you. And so they are made for that. So that is a really good feature of our stencils as well.
So if you are using this on a stencil, do you just clean your stencil the way that you typically would?
Yeah.
And you would probably want to do it after you use it, rather than with our stencils. We will sometimes use them multiple times before we wash them, but with this, you might want to wash them after
a use. Anytime you're going to use a weird pigment or a weird product, and I think this is a weird product. It's an unusual product, we'll call it that. You want to make sure that you clean it off if it's going to be something that doesn't cure onto something. I don't know how long. I own a stencil company, so I don't have to necessarily always track or clean my stencils all the time. So I need to remember to do that. And actually what I think I'll do is I'll use the Love and I'll track it that way, and I'll let you know in a couple of weeks. Okay, so now you get on there, and we've got Love, Love, Love. And so, oh, look how cute. It's shimmery. I got to show Carrie.
Oh, yeah, that was super cute.
That's super fun. Like, what a great little background technique. Let's give it 1 second, and let's try blow drying it and see if I can still do the smear test. And brush.
Paint will even go on it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, and then let's go smearing. Oh, this one's really thick. I'm not going to smear the thick one because I feel like that's unfair. Okay, so that is dry in essence. That's not smearing around. So now let's go grab a color of paint. Let's do black because we can see it. And then let's grab. This method of storing your stencils is the disc binder method of storing stencils. So you use a punch, which looks like this. We'll put a link down below for the Amazon store. It's an affiliate link. Anyway, but we have organized these into different color codes. They're super sturdy, like it holds your stencils. And I'm after a specific one I saw just a little while ago. This one. And they just rip out of there and then they pop right back in. So this little chandelier, like we have spiders and chandeliers and candelabras and all the things. It's so much fun. But think about that. That's in my Halloween book, but this is very obviously a feminine effect. So that's cool. I didn't notice this before. There's a smooth side to this and then a textured side. So you could do either way. That's just fun. Okay, so let's put a chandelier on here and see if it will cover with the black. Something we don't talk about very often is make sure that you're sharing these videos with your friends that like to do this kind of stuff, because that way we can help them paint too. Okay, so I'm just going to go over my chandelier, over the letters. When you're in the little details of your project, like these little beads, you want to make sure that you maybe stipple to get inside of all of the little details. Swirling is so much faster and easier, but sometimes swirling doesn't get inside the deets. Okay, this down, this up, And it covered very nicely. Let me get it dry and I'll see if it rubs off where the wax was. Okay. So I'm going to do, the first step is just to see if I rub it, does it come away? And it is not, maybe it did just a little bit right there. Yeah, I got it. I did get it off. So it might resist if you use it under, but then I'm thinking that that could be fun. Yeah, it's really not. I think I just had that one spot that might have been light. It's not really removing anything with that either. It's just uniformly taking it off. So yeah, so you can paint over it. Just make sure you're dry and cured. And then, of course, make sure you wash your brushes really good.
So you brought out the sanding block. That's also something that you can do with this. If you decide to use it as a distressed look on the edges, then you can do your distressing and then sand it, and then it'll be a shimmery sanded kind of experience.
Yeah, you have both. And actually, this is one of the things I wanted to share with you was we've got this frame for our Thrifted Ghosts. I'm going to go this direction. So this technique that's on the edge right here is a thing that you would have seen on the Tuscan things in that generation of decor. But you can totally go on here with another color and pick up some teal, and then you could go on here and just skip over the high points. You can go on your frame edge and then just get the high edges, and then you've got a totally different look. And then you can take your paper towel, you can soften it, make it easy. So yeah, this is a really cool texture to be able to go right over the top of texture. And I think that's extremely important to know about when you are using this product. I think it's versatile that way. All right, I think
that covers a couple other ways that we had talked about off camera that you could use this is on ornaments. On furniture. So we have our picture frame, but if you have a nightstand or a cute little cabinet that you are trying to upcycle, adding a little this to it, or even finding something at a thrift store that you could add to your decor, a vase,
vase. And let's bring the apron right up here. Don't forget that you could use it on fabric. So you can totally go on your, let's go love, love, love on here.
So this would be really great. We had a stencil fan recently trying to do different things to make an apron for a little girl, and she was using a unicorn, and she was trying to mix some glitter into the paint and trying to make it a little more shimmery. So maybe this would be a good answer for that.
Yeah. That's
to make
really
it shimmery without dealing with the mess of glitter and children.
Glitter. Oh, you guys, don't even get me started. I am kind of digging the idea of taking your craft apron and taking your stencils out and doing a little bit of this, and then a little bit of this, and a little bit of colors, and just totally making it be your craft apron. You know, just getting in there and doing the ones that you love. You bought them, you own them, use them. You know, so you could totally have just some fun things going on your apron, and that will make it completely yours. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. You guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We love being here with you. Make sure you check us out in our next videos on Saturday.
Yeah.
See you then.